With the 2024-25 NBA season kicking off on October 22nd, now is as good a time as any to talk about who would make the final roster for the Toronto Raptors. Granted, it's not the most difficult decision in the world, as the Raptors have majority of their roster locked up for this season, with one, maybe two spots still up in the air. But it's the time to make those decisions on who gets cut and who is a part of the Raptors, at least for the beginning of the season. As most of you know, and for the few that don't know, NBA rosters are allowed to have a maximum of 15 players on standard contracts heading into the regular season, and are also allowed to have 3 players on two-way contracts, giving us a total of an 18-man roster. And with the season starting on October 22nd, most teams will make their final cuts and have their final rosters usually decided on the 21st, the day before everything starts. That's usually how a lot of teams do things. However, according to hoopsrumor.com, teams actually have until October 23rd to make this decision. But they usually don't want to wait until that long to make these decisions and these cuts, as they don't want to wait these 2 days before to make final roster decisions. In fact, they predict that most teams would either make their moves before or on October 19th. And that is because something that I didn't know until just now is that players get paid a portion of their salary when they are on the waiver wires. And as it pertains to players on an Exhibit 10 contract, guys who got invited to training camp, they have to wait until October 21st to find out if, they're officially cut, if their deal gets converted to a two-way contract, or if their deal gets converted to a standard non-guarantee contract, the best case scenario. And now that we got the dates and the logistics out the way, we could take a look at the roster, and I'll give you guys my opinion on who I think stays and goes. Now, taking a deeper look into the Raptors roster and their contracts, it's pretty easy to see for me at least, who will be safe. I think everybody who's on a fully guaranteed deal, I assume, you don't have to spell assume, but more or less I think they're safe and they're going to make the opening night roster. So we're only going to be looking at the guys who are on the two-way contracts, the guys on the Exhibit 10s, and the one guy on the non-guarantee. Bruno Fernando is on the... Is it Bruno Fernando? Bruno Fernandez. Bruno Fernando is on the non-guaranteed deal. Our Exhibit 10 contracts, we have Jah'mius Ramsey, we have Rhoden, and we have Jamison Battle. And for our two-way contracts, we have Ulrich Chomche, Branden Carlson, and DJ Carton. So of those 7 guys, we're going to have to let go at least 4 of them.
Are you sure about that?
No, at least 3 of them. My math was wrong.
So dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
So you would think that having to get rid of 3 of these 7 players, it would be a very difficult decision, or you might find yourself deciding between, maybe this guy stays, this guy goes. Guys, honestly, this was pretty easy for me. I'm not sure what you guys think, but in my opinion, more or less pretty straightforward decisions. First up, all the two-way guys for me are safe. We weren't going to get rid of Chomche, especially, he's a raw prospect, but, Masai seems to really be into developing him. And I think, his two-way is, like a special type of two-way or something like that, so there's no way we're getting rid of him. I really liked what I saw in Summer League from Branden Carlson and from DJ Carton. I think their preseason and their limited opportunities, they weren't that good, I'll be honest, but Carton is a guy who joined the team last season. I believe he got hurt for a little bit, so we didn't get to see too much of him. Really liked what I saw from him in Summer League, and Branden Carlson was one of our best players in Summer League. I'm really excited about the fact that he could space the floor. A spacing 5 in the league nowadays is something very valuable. So all of the two-way guys are really safe. Of those 4 guys, the only guy that I am personally excited to see on this roster is Jamison Battle. He had an excellent Summer League first, and in his limited opportunity in the preseason, he's been pretty good. He's a really good shooter at a 6'7" frame. I don't think he's physically built to play, to be a 3-and-D type of player as of yet, but he has the size for it. And I think he has the ability to get to a decent two-way 3-and-D type of level player. I'm really excited about Jamison Battle, like what he could do on this roster and what I've seen from him so far. So, yeah, like, I mean, that's it. Like, Jamison Battle, I believe either it's not a matter of, for me, if he makes the final day roster. I think he will. The only thing for me is, okay, are they just gonna, here's an Exhibit 10, and we went through the video before, you either get your deal converted to a two-way or you get it converted to a standard non-guarantee. So do we move one of our guys, one of our 3 two-ways to a non-guaranteed and give him a two-way deal? Or do we just let him turn into the non-guaranteed deal one time? That's my, my pie in the sky, my kind of dream scenario. I think it's something like pretty straightforward. But, realistically, I think the Raptors can look at I don't want them to, but can look at I wonder if we should make a Bruno, his deal converted to like fully guaranteed, because we are very weak at the center rotation spot. Yak, he's a very good center. Love him to death. But outside of Yak, I'm not want to put Kelly as my 5. Kelly, we've seen he can play 5. Boucher could barely play 5, but I'd rather him play the backup 5 than Kelly. And then the rest. So we're looking at a backup big man rotation outside of Pertwell. So the backup big man rotation of Chris Boucher, Branden Carlson, and Ulrich Chomche, which 2 of those guys are two-way players. So might not see a lot of time. Yak, Jet, ready to play those like Pascal, Fred VanVleet minutes. I need you to be playing like 49 minutes a game at this point if it's our backup center spot is going to be that bad. So get ready to never leave the court. The only player I'm really bummed about losing is honestly Jah'mius Ramsey. I think he's a player with some good upside to him. But, if he was on a Raptors roster, I was about to say a roster Raptors. If he was on a Raptors roster with less guards, I honestly think he gets a spot. But at the moment, unfortunately for him, wrong place, wrong time. The Raptors are very guard-loaded. Jacoby Walter, IQ, Grady Dick, Ochai Agbaji if you want to. Bruce Brown if you want to. You could. Speaking of which, I guess we could also put Bruce Brown as our backup center if we wanted to. So Bruce Brown, yes. Did I say Grady Dick already? Jamal Shead, Davion Mitchell, DJ Carton. So that's 8. DJ Carton, he was battling for that final position with DJ Carton, but I've seen and I'm more excited about DJ Carton developing him. Sorry about that. Than I am about Jah'mius Ramsey. It sucks, but I'm sure he's going to land on an NBA roster or a G League roster soon. And that's honestly it, guys. As I said, this isn't the sexiest roster going into the season. But, what I'm really excited about is that we have a lot of unknowns on this team. A lot of guys that, we need to see how they're going to fit with all the injuries that happened last season after all the trades. This is kind of going to be our first experience seeing all right, how all of these new pieces are going to fit around Scotty and how they're all going to work together, because we don't know yet. And, the journeying into the unknown. I'm very excited for it, but also is very terrifying because it could be terrible, but let's hope not. But yeah, a nice quick little video, just my thoughts about who will make the final roster for the Raptors. Let me know if you wanted somebody else to make the final roster, and who you think would get cut or should get cut. I would love to hear your opinions, but until then, I will see y'all next time, and wish us luck for the season.